In the Philippines, mining is one of the helpers of economic growth. But after all the years of mining, does it contribute to economic development as well? Is it really worth destroying lands to establish such mining sites? The government does regulate the mining activities, but it seems as if they are not doing it seriously. There are laws passed to protect the people, environment, and the mining industry, and these laws may seem to favor them, but do they really? Or is the government only focusing on the financial aspects that mining can bring? We ask, how can the government curtail such a lucrative yet also detrimental business? Mining can be traced back as early as 600 BC. The Greeks developed and made use of mines. Years later, the Greeks were conquered by the Roman Empire. Mines were established throughout the European continent, the British Isles, and parts of North Africa. The first scientific description of mining operations was made by the Saxon physician Georgius Agricola. This was made possible through the book De Re Metallica. It was written in Latin. This book was used for about 200 years. In the Philippine context, mining started before the Spanish came to the Philippines. Ferdinand Magellan arrived during the 16th century. It was even said that due to the display of gold trinkets and wares, our fates were sealed to colonization. It was during the 1930s that the Philippines had its first mining boom. This was due to the opening of more than 50 veins. During the 1960s, the Philippines was recognized as the world's biggest producer of gold, copper, chromite, and nickel. During the 1980s, the mining industry played an important role in the economic development of the country. It contributed to 30% of the GDP and 50% of our exports. Today, there is a decline in the economic development of mining, but it is still a strong economic force. Mining employs about 104,000 workers and provides about 5 billion pesos in wages and benefits. The Philippines is known as the fifth richest in terms of mineral resources, the third richest in the world in terms of gold reserves, fourth in copper, fifth in nickel, and sixth in chromite.
LRC, meron siyang three regional offices, isa dito sa Luzon, and we have two regional offices sa Mindanao, based in Cagayan de Oro and Davao. So, mainly, ay nag-work kami sa indigenous peoples for the advancement of indigenous people's rights, also the protection ng IP rights. Dahil yung involvement namin sa IP rights, sa indigenous peoples, kasama na dito yung mining kasi nandun yung minerals. Kung saan nag-encroach yung mga mining operations, mining companies.
Mining is a beneficial source of income and work. It has provided small communities around ore-rich lands financial security. Mining companies have paved roads, built schools, and to add to that, increased the overall GDP of the country. It has also improved the economic ties among nations, which help bring in needed investments to improve the economy. The products created by mining are used mostly in construction, and as a result sparks the development of different buildings, which further instigate employment and financial security. But although the mining industry is a big contributor to the nation's economy, it does have its downsides. Health and environmental issues are the most commonly discussed drawbacks about mining. Mining can cause detrimental effects to the environment surrounding it. Dangerous chemicals and toxic wastes can escape from the operation and seep into underground water supplies, which endanger marine life. The communities around the mining areas also suffer from a similar effect. The environment where the people live in is slowly being corrupted by dust and corrosive acids, therefore causing sickness. Health is not something that can simply be exchanged for profit. Also, people from these mining areas are usually driven out of their lands and are not being provided housings or relocations by the government. Usually, These people are of the indigenous groups.
Ano po yung positive effects naman ng mining? Or not? Or... Silence.
Positive effects of mining. So, positive effects ay...
Effects po sa economy, sige, they add, pero a little amount lang. Sa economy, sa community, dun sa area, sa environment.
Meron lang positive effect, yung stock market. Kasi lahat yan speculation. Yung speculation ng 3 million na revenue sa kukuha ng gobyerno sa pag-invite ng mining operation, yun yun, isang nag-benefit yung stock market. Pero dahil nga speculative yung character, bound to fail. Dahil ano lang yan parang stocks lang yan. Umiikot lang siya, parang nabibilihan ka sa assumption nakikita.
Plus, it's also limited to people who can actually afford to buy stocks.
So yun yung isang positive effect. Second, sino man yung may pera, yun lang yung makikinabang. Dahil nga wala itong consent, dahil may resistance community, so parang nangyayari, positive effect nito, kung sino lang yung mayroong concession. Meaning, concession na yun na yung partner ng mining company. Ang usual partner ay kung sino si congressman, si governor dyan sa probinsya na yan, no? Kung sino ang nasa Malacanang.
Sa mga habang kasi sa mining, sa mga pumasok ng investments into the country. So, right now, the Arroyo administration is embarking on the mining revival. Gusto nilang palakasin ulit yung mining sector sa Pilipinas. In order to do that, dahil kulang naman yung capitalization din sa bansa natin, gusto nilang pang-investments. Sinasabi nila, kung do investments sa mining, magkakaroon tayo ng development. Isang case in point yung recover na obvious, if this is true, bakit from the time they were there until they left, wala tayo nakita na change in the situation. Just municipality, hindi nagbago. Yung kasi right now dun sa Nueva Vizcaya, merong isang Australian mining company na nandun sa isang lugar dun specifically dun sa Casibu, sa Nueva Vizcaya, yung sa barangay Gilivio. It's an Australian copper and gold mining project na kasama sa mga binigyan ng government natin, FTAA.
Ano po yung FTA?
Yung FTAA, isa siyang mining contract, isa siyang mining tenement. Ang tawag din sa contract sa isang, halimbawa, isang area na ibang mine, binibigay mo ito permit, ang tawag ay FTAA, merong MPSA. So, yung FTAA, ang ibig sabihin ay Financial and Technical Assistance Agreement, yung tawag din sa permit. Yung isa yung MPSA. Yung MPSA ay Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. So, magiging siya contract, pero mas malaki yung sakop ng isang FTAA. Halimbawa, yung sa Didipio kasi Nueva Vizcaya, yung title lang kasi yun, project, Didipio, kasi yun yung center. Pero ang sakop ng mine operation may 22 barangays. Mga 37,000 hectares. Yung sakop ng mine area, 22 barangay siya. Siyempre, alam niyo naman sa probinsya, pag sinabi isang barangay, parang isang syudad sa Maynila. So, malaki talaga siya. Ngayon, yung effects, yung tanong sa effects. Ito yun nga, yung binabanggit na namin, ang kagyat na effect ay displacement. Displacement ng mga residents kung saan merong mine operation, madi-displace sila. Dahil ang binanggit ko kanina, as kung April, first week ng April, based on sa aming pang 5-year vision na ginawa, 187 houses yung documented na na-demolish yung houses. So yun yung unang effect. Displacement na mga taong nakikita kung saan merong operation. Yung pagkawala ng kanilang livelihood, yung agricultural land na convert na sa